Hello everybody, Kevin here. Thank you guys for joining me on Kevin's Way Works. So I have in front of me my 2018 Buick Enclave Avenir, and what we're going to do right now is change the spark plugs. So this guy has hit the 97,500 mile mark, and it is time for those guys to come out and for new ones to go in. So stay tuned and I'll show you how to do this Kevin's way. Alrighty, there she is, 3.6 liter V6 variable valve timing. There was no other engine in this vehicle from 2018 to 2024. This was all there was. So let's go ahead and get to this. First thing we're going to do, we have to take that cover off. It has a Torx, and I believe it's a T30. So let's go ahead and do this. This screw is not captive, so you have to remove it, set it somewhere where you're not going to lose it. I'm just going to put it right up there. That's usually where I set things. So that's where that's going to go. We have to take the oil filler cap off. Make sure there's not a bunch of junk up in there. If there is, try to blow it off first before you take the cap off. You don't want anything falling down inside of the engine. And then it's got a couple, well, at least one. I can't remember if it has any others. I don't know if these are, yep, they are. So basically you just got to give it a little tug, and it has the rubber grommets. It sits on little pegs, which one here, and one back here. So let me go ahead and set this out of the way. What I like to do when I reinstall it is I take some dielectric grease and I just put a little dab of it either on the little pegs or on the rubber grommets themselves. So this one, first time I've done this, because this vehicle has 97,800 miles. The numbers in the book say to do it at 97,500 miles. So we're going to go with that. And you can see right here, your 3 front spark plugs are readily accessible. Well, let's go ahead and start. First thing we're going to do, take your oil cap, put it back on. That way you're not going to get anything down into the top end of the engine. You don't want any dirt and dust falling down in there. So I don't know if you hear that bird up there. He's talking to us. He's telling me I'm doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. Yeah, I hear you. Anyway, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Did a little research on this, and sure enough, we have to take this cover off. We have to disconnect the tubing here. Take the intake off. So we might as well disconnect this here. Disconnect the intake area here, down here. And because this is attached with a permanent clip, and we don't want to take that clamp off and have to redo it. It's not necessary. So I'm going to dust this off first. I'm going to blow it off, dust it off, just so we're not getting dust everywhere. And because it's springtime here now, and we just have tons of pollen. So let me do that, and I will be right back with you guys. Well, I helped a little. Didn't really do a whole lot, but it helped a little. So I'm going to go grab some pliers. We're going to so right now I'm going to do just the front, and then we'll get to disconnecting the manifold. But I'm going to take off this hose. I might as well take this guy off and disconnect. We'll take that part out. All right, I'm back. Obviously, this is 10 millimeter. Didn't realize it was going to be that long, or I would have used my drill. And that's captive. I believe that's captive. Yeah, that's captive. All right. For these, I have this. Was that a Goodyear? It probably came from some kit. and it fit. It's 5/6. I think it's 5/16 inch, and it fits perfect for perfect on these for removing them. So I'm just gonna loosen them up a bit. All right, so now I just have pliers. Actually, I've modified these. I rebuilt a radiator, and to get the clips bent, I just cut a little notch in there, and that way it would grab and bend and come off. Way cheaper to do that for that radiator than it was to buy a new one. And I just used RTV for the sealant. They make a tool for these. Why is that sticking? They make a tool for these, but I don't have the tool. So, and just turn that out of the way. And to get this off, it's on a peg, just pull that off. And then pull this back. Pull this, and sometimes it helps to get a little twist. Be careful, don't pull on this too hard if you're gonna get it off. I'm gonna just open this up just a hair. It feels like it's not open far enough, won't fit around that little lip there. Be careful, like I said, of that. There it is. So take that out, set it aside. That was pretty easy. So let's look at this. So to get the intake out, we have a coolant return line. Is that all in frame, guys? So we've got our coolant return line. Looks like it bolts on this peg right here and right here. So we'll have to be careful when you disconnect from these little nipples on these reservoirs. They can break easily. So I'm not going to try to get it off. Well, maybe we will try to get it off right there. We'll give it a try. It's an awkward position to get the pliers in. Right here is pretty easy to get to. So if you do right here, just be gentle. Twist it and pull gently straight out. Let's do these while they're accessible, and then we'll go into removing the intake, and we'll take care of the backside. I'm going to move you guys up a little bit because I feel like you're not going to see this very well. Sorry, guys. Ooh. My stand doesn't go any higher. It's my little blower here. That should be sufficient. All right, let's see what we got. I'm going to say 10 millimeter. What do you guys think? Always 10 millimeter. Gently pull your clips back. Gently pull them back. I don't know if these ones are prone to breaking from the heat or not. Like some vehicles are. So now that you pulled it back, you should be able to slide it out. Push down on a little tab. Right in the middle. Slide it out. Slide it over and out of the way. Just be gentle with them so you don't break them off. Let me get the blower again. Lots of dust, not as much dust as normal. Some people would get from dusty conditions. We don't really have any dusty conditions around here. So there's that. Okay. Spin these out, see if they're captive. Yeah, they're captive. I like it when they're captive like that. That way, well, they're not captive. I'm not sure. Oh, it's got a little rubber seal right there that was, I pulled too hard and I pulled it through. Oopsie. It's okay, it'll go right back in. Okay. Let's see if we can just gently pull them out, give it a little twist, pull it out. There it is. Give it a little look, make sure there's no melting or burn spots. Everything looks good with this one. So I don't know if these, I'm going to put them back in the order I took them out, to the same place. So I'm just going to set it up on, you can't see it, but I set it up out of the way over here. I set this one furthest left. Looks, here's some junk. Boy, those things are deep. Those things are like at least 8 inches down there. So let me get a spark plug tool and an extension and we'll get that out. Alrighty, have a spark plug socket. 5/8 of an inch, let's double check it. Perfect. Jeez. My goodness. I want to get a longer wrench. I want to gently twist them. I don't want to start hammering on them with my hands. I'm going to get a longer ratchet. I'm surprised those are in there that tight. Normally, they don't put them in that tight. So I've got just a Harbor Freight Pittsburgh ratchet. That one was way looser than the first one. I like you, and please, and I only do spark plugs by hand. I don't mess with power tools on the spark plugs. So here's the first spark plug. And that is, oh, is that a crack in it? That spark plug has a crack in it. Look at that. That's actually a crack. My finger actually catches it. That's lovely. So 41109 126 22561. That is the correct part number, and that is what I'm going to be putting back in. But that spark plug is cracked on both sides. Is that picking up on the camera? Let's get a little closer. Cracked all the way through. Other side's cracked. Now this car runs really good. There's no indications of a misfire. So I guess it was shielded well enough to where we weren't leaking any electrons out and grounding to the base there. Base down here. Anyway, that's interesting to find. Now, I'm just going to pull them all out at one time, being careful not to drop any junk down in there. Probably, you should blow the holes out beforehand. These shouldn't be dirty. I mean, they've got all sorts of seals up around them. This one looks exactly the same as the other one. Same coloring. This one is not cracked. on the front. This is bank 2. This one almost feels like it has a sealant on it, which I'm not sure if it's a good thing or not, because it could mean there's a lot of oil in it. Ugh. Yeah, it looks like some oil. I don't know if that's an issue or not. I mean, that may have... I don't know, guys. What do you think? Got a little oil blowing by there. I don't know. This thing does not use any oil, so if it is, it's minimal. It's either that or some got, nothing would have gotten spilled down in there. Anyway, no cracks on that one either. Just in case you want to see it. Now, I mean, 100,000 miles. Other than the crack in that one, they look fine. But I'm gonna always replace them per the interval in the owner's manual. So be careful with these. Don't drop them. If you do, and it lands on the tip, you could damage the iridium tip. Or are these iridium? I think these are iridium. Anyway, you could damage the tip. You could bend it, and then you have to try to gap it. But these are factory gapped. You shouldn't have to do anything with them. Just checking to make sure we don't have any cracks or anything. Everything looks good. So let's go ahead and install it. One thing I gotta be careful about is with my socket here, it's a little loose. It's not too bad right now when it's cold, for sure. They get loose, and they can fall out. So just make sure yours aren't gonna fall out. These do not have crush washers. They're just interferent. They have the angled flip on them, and they just fit tight against the aluminum from the cylinder head. Like I said, I don't like to. Don't put anything on them. Don't put any, anti-seize or anything. You'd install them just like they are. All right, here's our next one. So this one looks good. We'll go ahead and hand tighten this one for now. Okay. All right, so we have those installed. Now we have to go look up the Torx specs on it, and I'll be right back because I have those. 13 foot-pounds. So I'm going to go get my torque wrench, and we're going to torque that 13 foot-pounds. Let's set this one at 13. So this one's harder to read because it's a little off. Like right, I don't know if you can see. It's a little below the 5, but that one is way above the 5. So that one's 10. So 5, 10, 11, 12, 13 foot-pounds. All right, so let's do our 13 foot-pounds, and it's amazing how little this really is. You're going to be like, I barely turned it. That's it, man. I barely turned it. It feels like you did nothing, but do not tighten it any tighter than what it says. So whoever put these in here before me, like I said, I think somebody went through. I just did a few so you could see it, but don't be tempted to push it hard or just stop. So for this, now let's do this this one as well with the torque wrench. Be careful. You can't see. There you go. Now you can see. So 13. You don't have to do it multiple times. Just do it 13. I was just doing it to show you. All right, that's the front side, the easy side. All right, the fun part. Taking all this apart. I'm going to back you guys out. Okay. I'm going to give this a little twist. occurring. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that off, actually. I don't want to chance it. I'm very afraid of breaking that. Let's just put this back on here. I think if we can take this off here, we can set it up and out of the way. So I think I'm going to try that. Don't squeeze it too hard. We're going to lose some coolant in the hose right here. I'm going to pick this up out of the way, and then whatever's in here, we'll take this hose and put it off to the side so it's sticking up, and that way we won't lose a whole bunch of coolant. No more can come out of here because it's too high. So we're not going to lose a whole bunch right there. I'm going to disconnect that, and I'm going to set this upright to the side there. So see how that's sitting upright to the side. We won't lose any more coolant out of that. I'm going to go get a deep socket, probably 10mm deep socket, and I will be right back. All right, I'm back with a 10mm deep socket. Okay. I don't know if the 10mm is going to sit deep enough to get these off, so we might have to... They got a little hole in the side. We're just going to have to use a wrench. Let me go get a 10mm wrench. This is just a little ratchet wrench. Before I proceed with that, there's no reason to leave these holes open. So I'm going to put these guys back in. And these don't have any grease on them at all. I'm just going to slide it in just like it was. So this is the one from right here. Always start the bolts by hand, especially when working with aluminum. It just sits on there like that. It's got a little notch in it, but looks fine. I'm not sure what that purple is. See, they've got purple on them. I don't know if it's just a coating that's on it or what, but there's purple on it, and then there's purple inside there. I do not know what that's about. Check each one, make sure there's no cracks and signs of damage. I'm not sure about these. A lot of these you can buy replacement rubber parts, but I don't know. These have part number on there, 126-32479. In case you want to see it. It's right there. Hopefully that's visible. I can kind of see it, but my eyes don't focus well up close anymore with age. So anyway, that's it. Put that in, hand tighten. I'm going to hand tighten them the rest of the way. Okay, these get torqued to 89 inch-pounds. 89 inch-pounds is approximately 7.4 foot-pounds, I believe. A little over. So we're at 80. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 89 inch-pounds. .89 inch-pounds.